fact that we spend hundreds of millions of dollars in this country alone, probably many billions of dollars around the world, in skincare products, there's just seems to be this epidemic of misunderstanding about how to take care of our skin. I got a letter today from a gal in Australia. Hi there, I've seen you on the Alex Jones Show. I have a question I'm quite desperate over for no known reason. I love that. For no known reason, a couple weeks ago, I started getting facial hair, and quite a lot of it on my chin and cheeks and the top of my lips. It's embarrassing. I don't know what to do. I read online spearmint is supposed to be good for it. This is the kind of stupidity I'm talking about. Not for this gal, but for people who would actually have the cojones to sell spearmint to get rid of hair on somebody's face. The idiocy. I read online spearmint is supposed to be good for it, and I ordered some Swanson spearmint supplements. But I'm in Australia. It'll take weeks to get here. Don't waste your money, ma'am. This is a gal from Australia. Her name's Christina. She's 30 years old. She weighs 140 pounds, and she concludes her note saying, nothing in my diet or life has changed. It just started. Now, this is the kind of misunderstanding that is not only an epidemic, not only all over, but it's manipulated and preyed upon by people selling products. This is so unfair. If you're selling a product and you don't know crap about biochemistry or the skin, you are ripping people off. I don't know how you live with yourself out there if you're selling a skincare product and you don't know crap about the skin and you're telling people to put spearmint on their skin to get rid of their hair. If you've got body hair, if you have anything going on in your skin or anything going on in your body, there is a reason for it. Nothing just happens. In the case of hair that appears on the skin, on the face, it's not uncommon. It's usually related to two major hormones. One is insulin and the other is testosterone. And together, these two elevations in these two hormones form the basis of a health crisis called polycystic ovarian syndrome, or PCOS. And the classic sign of PCOS, Christina and anybody listening, is hair, facial hair, hair on the mustache, also sometimes body hair, also sometimes thinning hair on the head, and certainly hyperpigmentation goes along with it. The reason why we are so frustrated and so manipulated by people selling us skincare products and so frustrated by what appears on our skin is because we don't understand what the skin really is. We look at our skin, if you look at your skin right now, it just doesn't look like anything. But really, this thing that we call the skin is one of the most incredible organs in all of biochemistry. Not just in the body, not just in the human body, but in all of animal biology. The skin is perhaps the most incredible so-called organ. The skin is, even though it doesn't look like anything's happening, the skin is a throbbing, seething, dynamic system, constantly moving, constantly changing, and even though it looks inert, it is far, far, far from inert. And you can think of the skin like a multi-layered structure. It's like a candy bar where you have a piece of chocolate, and then you have icing on top of the chocolate, and then you have sprinkles on top of the icing. Okay? It's got three parts. You got a piece of chocolate, which makes up maybe 90% of your skin. You've got icing on top of your skin, which maybe makes up 9 to 10% of your skin. And then on the order of 1% of your skin is sprinkles on top of the icing. Except in skin, obviously, we don't call it chocolate and icing and sprinkles. We call it the dermis, the epidermis, and the stratum corneum. So the skin is a multi-layered structure. The whole skin itself is maybe about as thick as a piece of paper. This layer, the surface of the layer, the surface of the skin, I should say, is called the hard layer. Or in Latin, it's called the stratum corneum. This thin slice of tissue is made up of hard cells, similar in consistency to your fingernails. It's called keratin, and this hard layer, which is made up of keratin, called the stratum corneum, serves a protective function. The stratum corneum cells, which are very similar in texture to your fingernails, or maybe deer antlers or horse hooves or rhinoceros horns, this keratin-based thin layer, the stratum corneum, serves a protective function. And in between these cells of the stratum corneum, these hard cells of the stratum corneum, you have grout or putty. The grout or the putty is a fatty layer. Or it's kind of like a oily material, a fatty material. So you have on the surface of the skin hard cells, and then between those hard cells you have a fatty material you can think of like grout. If we take our raisin bread analogy, we've always said that the body is composed of raisin bread, where cells are the raisins and the matrix is the bread. The hard fingernails in your stratum corneum, the rhino horn, horse hoof, deer antler-like cells would be like the raisins, and the fatty grout-like substance would be the bread. The hard cells, these rhinoceros horn, fingernail-like cells, sit in a fatty-like substance the way raisins sit in bread, in raisin bread. And that's the very surface of the skin. And it's about 1/10 as thick as a piece of paper. That's pretty darn thin. Now, underneath this hard layer, you have the remainder of the surface of the skin, the icing on our chocolate icing sprinkle analogy. The icing of the skin is called the epidermis. The epidermis sits under the stratum corneum. The stratum corneum is the sprinkles, and the epidermis is like the icing. So underneath the icing, underneath the sprinkles, I should say, you have the icing, and this is called the epidermis. And it's altogether maybe as thick as a piece of paper. So your epidermis is about as thick as a piece of paper. Your stratum corneum, the icing on top of the epidermis, is about as thick as maybe 1/10 of a piece of paper. You got your stratum corneum in your epidermis. And in addition to skin cells, the epidermis is the home of pigment cells. This is where pigmentation is largely occurring, in this middle portion underneath the hard layer. And you have immune cells, you've got pressure cells that are responsible for sensations of touch. All of this is occurring in this middle layer, the epidermis layer. And this is also where the cells of the stratum corneum are born. Cells are born in the epidermis. These hard cells are born in the epidermis, and they kind of rise up to the top. And at the very end of their life, they form this sprinkle layer, the stratum corneum layer. The epidermis, by the way, is where skin cancer appears. Basal cell skin cancer and squamous cell, the two main skin cancers, appear in the bottom layers of the epidermis. As the skin cells are rising, this is where they become most vulnerable to things that cause cells to go crazy and cause cancer, either the sun or biochemistry. So you got your epidermis and you got your stratum corneum. The epidermis is also where psoriasis shows up. It's where eczema shows up. It's where acne shows up. And activation of the immune system in this lower layer can be related to problems with the digestive system. The digestive connection to the skin is based in largely this epidermal layer. Epidermal immune cells are what account to a large degree for local reactions that you have to different kinds of products, itching, rashing, dermatitis, but not necessarily the internal reactions. The internal reactions happen a little bit lower. So the epidermis is made up of multi-layers itself. You've got your very, very tippy top, the stratum corneum, and then underneath you've got different distinct layers. All of these are considered part of the epidermis. The thing about the epidermis is there's no blood in the epidermis. It's blood-free. That means when you apply something to your skin, for the most part, it isn't going to get much past the skin. In order for something to get into the body, by topically applying it, it's got to get into the blood, and there's no blood in the stratum corneum, and there's no blood in the epidermis. All the blood is located deeper in the real active layers of the skin, and this is where all of the collagen and the connective tissue protein, all the stuff that we want to approach in our skincare products are located in this very, very bottom layer, the chocolate bar part of the skin, what I'm calling the dermis. All right, we're coming back.
Men who want intimacy and pleasure back in their love life don't ask if, they ask when. So men, spark up your love life, get pleasure and intimacy back, and please your special lady with Epic Nights. Epic Nights is a safe, revolutionary herbal sexual formula for men that combines ancient herbal ingredients and modern science to significantly support stamina, performance, and pleasure. Men, Epic Nights is a proven 100% natural product that works first time, every time, even after consuming alcohol. And you won't hear any of those cliche disclaimers, men, because Epic Nights will not give you unwanted side effects, but Epic Nights will allow you to give your partner what they deserve. Epic Nights is guaranteed as one of the most effective male enhancers on the web, or will refund your purchase 100%. Buy Epic Nights at buyepicnights.com, spelled BUYEPICNIGHTS.com, or call 1-877-330-1120, 877-330-1120. Epic Nights, one pill, one Epic Night.
This alert just came in. This special announcement is for business owners and leaders of organizations who've been waiting for the right time to build. General Steel has made it impossible to wait any longer with rock-bottom prices that could save you thousands. That's right, General Steel, America's leader in pre-engineered structures, is offering buildings at prices you will never see again. Don't miss these prices. A 50 by 100 for $35,000. You heard right. That's 5,000 square feet for $35,000. Manufacturers, if you need a larger building, try a 100 by 100 commercial building for $129,000. You can't afford to rent with these prices. Imagine a 70 by 100 200-foot church building for under $69,000. With the economy improving and interest rates still at historic lows, you can't afford to wait. So call 866-91-STEEL. Lock in your price now. Call 866-91-STEEL. That's 866-917-8335.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
I will never forget the day my son Jeremy told me he hated me and slammed the door in my face. I'm behavioral therapist Janet Lehman. Behavior problems can turn the child you love and your life into a nightmare. That's why my husband James and I created the Total Transformation, the step-by-step program that shows you how to fix the worst behavior problems and get your child to respect and listen to you again. No matter what the behavior, defiance, backtalk, angry outbursts, disrespect, we can help you stop it. Now you can get the Total Transformation for free. All you need to do is get the program and let us know how it works for you. You can keep it forever for free.
Limited number of free programs available. Call now. 1-888-912-1595. 1-888-912-1595. That's 1-888-912-1595. 1-888-912-1595.
Great news, pure water lovers. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has a special discount offer for all GCN listeners. You can't do better than a Big Berkey for economy. For only 1.7 cents a gallon, a single set of filters can last for 5 to 10 years. There's none better than a Big Berkey for emergency preparedness as a backup water source. And you just can't beat a Big Berkey to remove dangerous chlorine, all types of fluoride, pathogenic bacteria, cysts, parasites, and unhealthy byproducts from municipal water. Berkey water filter systems are even powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. For the gold standard in water filters, get a Big Berkey at BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. And all GCN listeners get 5% off all ceramic filter systems. For details, call 1-877-99-BERKEY. That's 877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
We are the premier independent talk radio network, the Genesis Communications Network, GCN.
I just realized I forgot to tell Christina what to do about her PCOS. If you're dealing with hair on the face, facial hair, if your hair is thinning on the top of your head, if you have hair on the back, this is all if you're a woman, and you have facial hair, your hair is thinning on the top of your head, if you notice that you're gaining weight dramatically, if your skin is oily and you're breaking out, if you have problems with your periods, cramping, PMS, bloating, fibroids, fibrocystic breasts, all of these can be indicators of what we're calling PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. Polycystic ovarian syndrome, like many skin issues, or like many biochemical problems, has a skin manifestation. One of the ways it shows up is as skin problems, but it's not per se a skin problem. It's not a skin issue. Your skin distress is a symptom of the biochemical breakdown that's based in insulin, estrogen, and maybe the male hormone testosterone. Polycystic ovarian syndrome begins, as the name implies, with cysts in the ovaries. These cysts are little pieces of ovarian tissue that grow or hypergrow in response to the hormone insulin. PCOS is a pre-diabetic condition. So Christina or anybody else dealing with hair on the face, thinning hair, in combination with problem periods, in combination with breakouts on the skin, you're more than likely dealing with pre-diabetes. More than likely you're dealing with blood sugar issues. These lead to cysts that grow in the ovaries. Cysts produce male hormone and female hormone. Thus, you end up problems with extreme manifestation of female symptoms, an extreme weight gain, for example, problems with your periods, and extreme manifestations of male hormone